Mark, we talked about the strengths of Afrika, one of them being the pick and ban with their fantastic coaches. This time they have corrected their past and they're going to switch it up. We see the Taliyah come through again. We mentioned how it should be either Olaf or Taliyah that gets first pick. If you want to bet, if you want to deny the Olaf, or if you want to deny UCal even further, they pick the Olaf, the Taliyah goes through. Let's see what else KT wants to pick up.
The jungle pick here will be very exciting as well. Seems like KT have decided that just denying AD carries from Kramer is the way they want to go. Now, Xayah is banned away, not the Rakan this time, so there's no Xayah. There's not actually a lot here that Kramer has preferred. But this is pretty significant because it is a self-counter pick in terms of identity. Both the Taliyah and Varus kind of quiver when the Olaf starts to run at them. We'll see how that particularly works out. The AD carry, I think Kai'Sa left open 2 games in a row. It's going to be locked in here. It's a lot more risky in the 2v2 laning phase as Afrika. Maybe they're going to start picking for lane. We've praised already the LeBlanc. I think LeBlanc is a lot more likely than the Katarina in this game. LeBlanc is really strong against the Taliyah, and that will be a winning lane for Afrika.
We thought maybe that would be one reason why you don't want to first pick Taliyah, but they mix it up. They're playing some mind games. You want to ban out LeBlanc again? We're not so sure.
So it's possible they will still go for the Galio, because Kai'Sa in a side lane functions a bit like an assassin. I think of Kai'Sa a bit like, if you remember, the purple build Vayne that used to go very early into play the Ruin King and Yomu's Ghostblade and try to just play for the side lane. Kai'Sa with her ultimate hits a W and goes in, has massive burst damage. The build is also very interesting if we will see the Death's Dance Rush or something else. So let's see if we do see something like the Global to try to help in the side laning of the Kai'Sa. But it's going to be the Tahm Kench taking the first round, and KT will look at the mind games and they will ban away the LeBlanc, trying to find a UCal some equal footing in the 1v1.
Yep, same. The first time we're going to see it here in this series. Definitely is just nice in general. We're going to see also the Karma picked up here for the mid lane for Kuro.
So it's another utility pick for the Kai'Sa, but not the Global. So they don't want to go for the Galio, too easily outlaned by Taliyah, not rotated in game number 1. They're going to go for the Karma mid lane in order to just follow and make the Taliyah accountable. It's a very strong 1v1 laning matchup for the Karma, so you're still very happy about your lanes. The final lane, though, is the blind pick. What are we blind picking? We're saying to Keen, the safest tank would be the Ornn. Patchworking into any sort of item build would be another initiator on the lineup. They will go Ornn. What does this mean for Smeb, though? Last pick on the red side. He's taken Fiora in many similar matchups and tried to make it work. Doesn't do that well against the Ornn. Let's see if it's going to be playmaking. It could also be a Tahm Kench top. I know that sounds crazy, but does very well into tank matchups. It's probably going to be the Shen, a very famous legacy pick for Smeb, but I'm not 100% sure until we round out to 20 seconds.
We'll have to wait and see if they actually do go ahead and lock that in for the top side. Would have to imagine it. This would be more standard. Mata on Tahm Kench is second most played, and of course Smeb Shen, everybody knows about that. Some of the best Stand Uniteds we've seen in the entirety of Korean League of Legends.
We're piling on with this comp, regardless of where people are going. It will be the top lane Shen. It's a very standard Abyssal Voyage. They have the Weaver's Wall. They have the Stand United. This is very much about piling in. It's not as pigeonholed into the mid-game team fights as before. There are always some damage concerns on both sides. Score and also UCal are here.
This should be enough damage. Let's see what he can do, though. Keen going for the 1v1. Wants the knock-up first. Not even going to blow his flash. Knows he's dead at this point. They're going to give the first blood. Well, they tried to give it to UCal, but it goes to Score on the Sejuani.
He's going to continue attacking lane. He's going for the Titanic Hydra Rush, which is the Score natural build from the old days. They will get the roam, but with the Banner of Command, we do have the Devour here to try to slow down the push. Def can have a lot more happy time in the side lane.
They want to engage here, but Tushin immediately going aggressive with the TP. Also, the wall not going to last all too long. Just at level 11 here, so interesting one, but they do get the TP out of Kuro at least.
And that's a big one for Afrika. Relieves a lot of pressure. Top lane didn't use summoners. If they could have got Keen's teleport, that would have been at least a decent trade. KT unable to get much except for mid lane. Mid lane can just run at Taliyah and stop her roaming, and her Weaver's Wall is down. Will we see any priority on this Cloud Drake? We had a 6 straight game, or nearabouts, in game number 1. But not so much in this game. The laning phase continues. You do worry that if Afrika can show up with that 2-item Kai'Sa, we're not ready to understand exactly how much hurt she can unleash on KT.
Scores there again. Same position, just really wants to bait this out, wants to stop the banner of command from pushing in. Need to
generation from the jungle still happening after the changes, and the first mid lane turret could be going down now.
Looking to engage onto Mowgli here. They force the Ragnarok, and now coming from behind, here's the Weaver's Wall too. Trying to get out of the back line. Kuro getting extremely low, but the double knockup now from Ornn, trying to lock down Smeb. In goes Kramer into the face of 5 of them. Big knockup. Now it's score. Goes down. There's the chunk from the Karma with the help of Kramer. In the end of it all, Afrika Freaks win the team fight.
And KT eventually had one person up the front just get autoed down from 6-stack Rage Blade on the Kai'Sa, and she shreds frontliners who try to do that. So KT weren't actually able to keep on one target. The taunt misses from Smeb.
Now Smeb getting himself into a lot of trouble, does have the Devour. Afrika trying to bite off as much as possible after winning the first team fight of the game. Only able to get one turret. Let's see where they go. Actually, he's going to have to get a pretty nice steal. We'll see if Smeb, they're going to try to engage here. Tushin is very low. That is going to go over to Ornn somehow. Kramer getting low in the backside. Shen trying to do that damage. It goes over to Mana, and they get a second kill. Afrika looking like they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Looking for a third kill now is KT, as Deft also going to survive. There you go. Baron to Afrika, but 3 kills to KT.
Great Baron speed, but in that sort of a fight where Kai'Sa can't free hit, you see the difference. Not able to put out damage. KT get 3. They're going to get at least 2 turrets, you'd imagine, against the Baron. So they will lose this inner mid lane turret.
That's big for vision around the middle side. Afrika, now that they're ahead,
how much more can they get?
Yeah, I mean, they have the banner of command as well. 5 members of KT go back, and actually Smeb didn't even go in. Looking, and there's the engage. They get onto Death here, but Mana is going to be on time to eat him up, but they want to get on top of him, and they will. That's 2 kills, and a third one going over to the Kai'Sa. Fantastic engage from Tushin to make that all happen. Big mistake on the map from KT as well. And now Smeb is all alone here in the backside. Should be a 4th kill. Can't even give that one over, but this one is going to be keen, and they could even end from here.
They're going to look to try to do it, Valdez. This is the sort of thing KT does too often. They make very poor decisions in their macro in the mid to late game. It's going to be a death. It's going to be the end of the game.
Yeah, UCal not even there to stop the minion waves. That's going to do it. One mistake. I hope the Cloud Drake was worth it, Papa, because they lose the game from it. That's going to do it. Afrika, very nicely done. Fantastic read, and another great engage from Tushin, who's got a huge smile on his face. We are going to have Afrika on match point as they take game number 3.
Afrika Freeze comeback purely off a macro mistake. And in our preparation, we said, if it is regular season Afrika, they will look at those mistakes that KT made against SKT that went unaccountable and be able to be the more polished team. Didn't see it in game 1. In game 3, on full display, this wasn't about a counter.